Hey, 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 love bugs. Whatever you're doing, stop and let every single person you know that Mimi the Motivator is on and getting started.
The enigmatic
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, love bugs. It is your favorite motivator, Mimi the Motivator. And welcome to another edition of the Get High on Motivation Show. I'm glad that you're here. Go ahead and share this with somebody and let them know they need to know about this. I promise you that today is the show that they need to know about, because today we're going to be talking about unforgiveness and what it's really doing to people. It's really killing people. Oh my gosh. But before that, of course, we will have our food for thought, as we always do. And I'm excited that you are here. So if you are tuning in live with me, go ahead and drop somewhere and let me know where you are tuning in from. I don't want to say hey and know where you live so I can come visit you and eat at your house. No, I'm just playing. But let's go ahead and get this day started. And again, I am Mimi the Motivator. I am a holistic leadership development expert, which just means I help people get their shit together. Ooh, excuse me. They life together. Excuse me. I help them in all areas of their life. I help them get their mental health, physical health, financial health, and of course, spiritual health, because it is the basis for everything else. But those are the 4 pillars of wealth. So if you have any kind of interest in being wealthy, then this definitely is the show for you. Now, if you don't and you're okay with being broke or broke-minded, go ahead with yourself. This ain't the space for you. This is only for people who want to be 1% better in one area of their life every single day, because that is why we come together. We come together every week just for that, so we can figure out how to do it, because we're in this thing together. So our food for thought today comes from Janice Bryant Howard, and it says, communicating with clarity, purpose, passion, and honesty will enable you to serve others in a profound way. Communicating with clarity, purpose, passion, and honesty will enable you to serve others in a profound way. A lot of people out here, we are entrepreneurs, or we might just be employees, but definitely if you're an entrepreneur, you're constantly trying to figure out, how do we get the client? How do we get the likes? How do we get the follows? How do we get the conversions? And sometimes you feel like you got to play a game of not really being who you're supposed to be, or not really being honest. A lot of us are not even clear in what it is that we do. Like I say, I'm a holistic leadership development expert. What does that really mean to you? I need to define that. I need to be clear on what that is and what my purpose is. What is the purpose of this show? And I hope that I am clear in that we are literally trying to get our whole entire lives together, because it's not just about the money. A lot of people think it's about the money, but the money can't keep you warm. The money is not going to hug you. It's not going to kiss you on your cheek. It's not going to take you out on a date. It can pay for the date, but it's not going to hold your hand. It can't wipe your butt if you can't wipe it. So really, this is about just having our whole life balance. It's beyond work-life balance. It's just us being healed, whole, and complete. And when we are speaking from that space, we can speak with clarity. We can speak with purpose. Do you even know your purpose? Have you taken the time to define what your purpose is? Or are you just going about life doing things the way you've seen them done, the way your parents did them, your grandparents did them, the way the people outside do them, the way your coworkers act? What is dictating how you demonstrate what's going on in your head? Who is dictating that? But if you have purpose and when you act with passion, people know it. When you are speaking with clarity, purpose, and passion, and honesty too, people are ready to get behind you. People are ready to spend with you. People are ready to invest in you. People are ready to hire you. People are ready to send you to other people. This is how we can grow our network. It's just clearly this: communicating with clarity, purpose, passion, and honesty. When we are being dishonest, people know. Not everybody. It's some people we can fool, but people know. People have a feeling, even if they don't know what that feeling is. Energy don't lie. I don't care what's going on. Energy does not lie ever. And our energy will snitch on us every single time. And if you're paying attention, you'll realize that people's energy is snitching on them. How much are you paying attention though? How much are you paying attention to whether or not the people that you are communicating with or in communion with, relationship with, are they being clear? Are they operating from purpose? Do they even have passion? Or do they just got dollar signs in their eyes? Are they really being honest? Are they being forthright in their actions, not just in their words, but in their actions? There's a thing called honest actions. We think that honesty is something that just comes out of our mouth. Honesty is how we operate. Are you honestly operating as who you really are? Or are you putting on a mask and a whole fake character for people to tune into, for people to support, because you don't think that they're going to accept you just the way that you are? What are you really doing out here? How are you communicating? How are you communicating in your personal relationships? How are you communicating in your romantic relationships? Very many of us are not honest in our romantic relationships. We're not honest about what it is that we really desire. We're not honest about what's really bothering us. We might fuss and complain about something, but we never tell the real truth. What's the real problem? What's the real issue? When you can get to what the real issues and communicate that, then there might be a way that things can get better, that things can be more harmonious. I don't know about you, but I desire peace and harmony in every area of my life. Accepting and allowing peace and harmony in every area of my life protects me from viruses and all kind of other stuff. Because that's all a virus is. A virus is when you have not allowed yourself to be at peace and harmony with life. It's when you have been condemning yourself. You've been condemning life. You've been condemning what's going on the news, what's going on politics, what's going on in the neighborhood. Who cares? Tune into yourself so much that the only thing that you are now doing is communicating with yourself with clarity, purpose, passion, and honesty. Have you been honest with yourself? A lot of us are not just telling lies to other people. We're telling lies to ourselves. Stop lying to yourself. Get honest with yourself about who you really are, what you really desire, where you really are, and where you desire to be. It's not until we do that can we really get there. We have to acknowledge and honor where we are and not beat up on ourselves either, because wherever we are, it's okay. We're doing just fine. Say that to yourself right now. I am doing just fine. And if anybody has anything to say, you let them know I'm doing just fine. If they feel like you should be doing further, going farther, doing more, have more, I am doing just fine. Because you are. You're doing what you can do from where you are right now. But today, we're going to expand your thinking. We're going to expand your perspective so that way you are capable of more. You are capable of receiving more, most importantly, because you are deserving of more. That's what I believe about you. I believe that you are deserving of more than what you have right now. I believe that you are deserving of more than what you have even been giving right now. You are worthy. You are worthy of the world. You are worthy of anything that's in your mind, anything that is in your heart. Get clear on what's in your heart. Get clear on the purpose that you believe that you were sent to this earth during this lifetime for. And start operating from it. Otherwise, you're going to be miserable. You're going to turn old and gray and still be miserable. Have all kind of illnesses and stuff because you still haven't served your purpose. The universe is going to keep you here until you do it. So you might as well get to it now. Not that we're trying to check out early, but we want to have a life that is fulfilled. And we can do that when we start communicating with ourselves in this way, not just communicating with others. We have to love ourselves in the way that we are loving others. Put ourselves first. I know that's going to make somebody feel like, oh, I got kids. No, put yourself first. Fill your cup up first. Fill your cup up so much that it is overflowing and we are now pouring from our saucer. Okay. So are we ready to get started? I think we are past ready to get started. We're running a little late this morning, so let's go ahead and get this conversation underway about unforgiveness. Y'all, I was doing some homework this morning, And the startling statistic, whew, it hit home for me in real life. 61% of cancer patients have unforgiveness issues. Y'all know I got a cancer patient right here in the house. I was blowed. I was like, oh my God, I hope she don't hear this. I hope she don't think I'm attacking her, because I'm not. I just was on this whole forgiveness thing. At Billionaire Mornings this morning, I had the pleasure of being with one of my sister goddesses who was struggling with forgiveness, really struggling with forgiving herself. And that is what sparked today's show. So shout out to you. You know who you are. This show is just for you and me. So when I saw that statistic, that 61% of the people who have cancer have unforgiveness issues, I was not surprised. I wasn't surprised at all, because I am a metaphysics student. And in metaphysics, we learn that all illness begins in the mind and then it manifests in the body. So I already know that cancer is about unforgiveness, but what I knew it to be was repressed emotion, okay? Which is still what? Unforgiveness, because we're holding on to a grudge, right? Well, first, before I go into this, I want to talk about some other effects, because it ain't just cancer. So if you ain't got cancer, hey, you still in the game of how this can affect you. And if you know somebody with cancer, or you know somebody with a family member with cancer, or someone who has just overcome it, so that way it don't come back, send them this show. So first of all, unforgiveness is an illogical response to somebody else's mess up. It's an illogical response. And I'm going to tell you why it's an illogical response. And you can get offended in your feelings if you want to. I don't really care. It's an illogical response because if I had some poison and I drank some, how is it going to kill you? It can't, right? It's going to kill me because I drank the poison. Forgiveness is the poison. So just think about that. You sitting here mad at somebody who usually has gone on with their life. They're not even thinking about you. They're not even thinking about that moment. Even if they're thinking about you, they're not thinking and pondering and harboring and festering on that one experience that you have been holding on to for years. Some of us have been holding on to some stuff since we were kids. Let me tell you something. When we are unforgiving, it keeps us in victim mode. We're not victims. If you're listening to this show, you're not a victim. I don't care if you were a victim about 5 minutes ago. In 5 more minutes, you will no longer be a victim. You will no longer call victim. You will never act like a victim again, because you are a victor. You are a warrior. You are a champion. And forgiveness will allow you to be a bigger champion, a stronger warrior, because unforgiveness keeps us in victim mode. We're constantly blaming somebody else. When we forgive, we are taking responsibility. Not that we're taking responsibility for somebody's actions, but we're taking responsibility for how we feel. We're taking responsibility for our present peace. We're taking responsibility for our future peace, because we're no longer going to hold on to this thing that's preventing what we really desire. Let's think about that. Something else is that unforgiveness lets the people who hurt us dictate our emotional state, our current emotional state. It could happen 20 years ago. And these people are still dictating how we're operating right now, how we're feeling right now, how we approach people, how we receive people. And this person may or may not even be in our lives anymore. This person may not even be alive anymore. And we're still holding on to the grudge. We're still holding on to the pain. We're still holding on to the hurt. This does not serve us. This makes us sick. Unforgiveness makes us sick and keeps us sick. I'm going to repeat that. Unforgiveness makes us sick and keeps us sick. So I don't care what type of treatment plans you might be on as a cancer patient or high blood pressure. I don't care what your ailment or illness. It could be allergies. If you are unwilling to forgive the people in your life, if you're unwilling to forgive yourself, if you're not willing to forgive some certain experiences, then that treatment may or may not work. Unforgiveness even keeps people from even seeking treatment. Ain't that crazy? Unforgiveness is like a whole brick wall with, what do you call that wire on top that'll cut you? That's what unforgiveness is. It's like it's got you walled in. Love can't get in. Abundance can't get in. Everything that you desire is being blocked out by your unforgiveness. I'm going to tell you why. We're going to go scientific for a little bit before I go too spiritual for you. When we harbor unforgiveness, it creates almost like a constant state of anxiety. This chronic anxiety is consistently pushing adrenaline and cortisol in our body. It's raising those levels up so high that it is killing our killer cells. What I mean by killer cells, we have cells in our body where they are like little foot soldiers. Their only job is to attack what's in our body that does not belong. But when we're harboring unforgiveness, when we're holding on to grudges, we are creating a chemical in our body that is not allowing our cells, our killer cells, to live and to fight on your behalf. Our cells are affected by every single thing, not just the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, but the thoughts that we think as well. That's where the most toxicity comes from, is from your own mind. Not from that nasty food that you be eating, but from your own mind. Forgiveness is not letting somebody get away with something, okay? Forgiveness is not saying what they did is okay. Forgiveness is not saying, yeah, you hurt me, but you can come on back. That's not forgiveness. Forgiveness is not what you think it is. I think a lot of times we think if we forgive somebody, we're giving somebody a pass. No, we're not. And we don't even have to forgive them in their face. I had somebody come to my house one day and bring me a letter, letting me know that they forgive me. I laughed at her. I don't need your forgiveness, is what I let her know. You need your forgiveness. You need to forgive me for you, not for me. I don't get anything out of you forgiving me. I do, however, get something out of me forgiving me for the same thing that she called herself forgiving me and giving me a pass for. I hadn't even given myself a pass for. So her forgiveness, it meant nothing to me. I didn't forgive myself until several years later after she brought that letter to me. That's why her forgiveness didn't mean nothing, because I still was suppressing myself. Like I said, forgiveness is suppressed emotion. Suppressed emotion causes illness. Suppressed emotion causes us to be at dis-ease. So if you want to be diseased or at dis-ease, because that's the proper way to say the word dis-ease, keep on holding on to them grudges. Keep on thinking that it's them. No, it is us. We have to forgive for our own sake. We have to forgive for our own peace. We have to forgive for our own bank accounts, because forgiveness blocks blessings. Forgiveness blocks blessings. So whatever it is that you're sitting there desiring, you can desire all you want. But if you're also holding on to unforgiveness as strong as you're holding on to your desires, they're like canceling each other out. You've got to let that go. You have to let go of whatever it is. You have to. We accept forgiveness, but are we passing it on? Let's think about that. We desire forgiveness, but are we delving it out? No, we just like taking it in, but we not. Can you make it rain forgiveness today? Let's do that. That's what I'm going to do. Join me. We're going to make it rain forgiveness today. We're going to make it rain forgiveness on ourselves, and we make it rain forgiveness on other people. And how are we going to do that? We're going to use paper and pen, pencil if you like. I like a pencil. But make a list. I encourage you to make a list of everything that you feel like you need to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for everything that you have done that you thought was the wrong thing to do. Forgive yourself for everything that you failed to do, that you felt like it was what you needed to do, but you didn't. Forgive yourself for some things that you have said that you wish you would have swallowed. Forgive yourself for the things that you left unsaid, knowing it could have made a difference. Forgive yourself. We can't just forgive other people. We have to forgive ourselves as well. Us forgiving ourselves is going to release so much freedom into our lives, into our minds. You're going to feel lighter when you start forgiving people, because you're literally carrying around a brick. Or let's say a jug of water. Everybody know how much a jug of water, a gallon of water weighs? But what happens when you still walking with that jug of water through the store? Now you're carrying it to the car. It gets heavier and heavier and heavier. Just think if you had to walk around all day carrying that jug of water, not pouring any of it out, just carrying, not getting a chance to sit it down, or not taking the time to sit it down, you're just carrying it around. It's going to get heavier and heavier. What might have felt like a pound is going to feel like 100 pounds. That is unforgiveness. Sit it down. Let it go and walk on and move on with your life. And know that some people in our life, we're going to have to forgive over and over and over and over and over and over. We're going to have to forgive them every day for the same thing over and over. There's a story in the book of Matthew, I want to say, where the question was, well, how often do I have to forgive my brother? 7 times? The answer was like, no, you got to forgive 70 times 7. How much is that? That means we got to keep forgiving people. Even if they keep doing stuff that's wrong in us, keep forgiving them. Even if they just did that one something that you are having the hardest time forgiving and it happened a long time ago, keep forgiving them every single day. If you got to forgive them a few times a day, do that. I recently encountered a family member that I think I have been harboring unforgiveness for since I was a teenager. He walked up to the door. I let him in. I said hi. It wasn't a very friendly hi. He said, well, do you know who I am? I said, yeah, I know who you are. That's exactly why I was acting the way I was acting, because it was unforgiveness. Unforgiveness for things he has done to me. Unforgiveness for things he's done to my grandmother. Unforgiveness for things he's done to my mother and probably some other family members and some other people out in the world that I don't even know. But this weekend I had to forgive him because my inability or unwillingness to forgive him could have been blocking something that was for me. It could be blocking the greater blessing that God has for me while I'm still worried about the little something that this man took from me or took from my family. Who are you harboring unforgiveness for? Today, make it your business not only to make a list of the things that you need to forgive yourself for, but make a list of what you need to forgive the people in your life for. There are people in my life that I have pages of forgiveness for, because I'm not playing about my abundance. I'm not playing about my spiritual health. I'm not playing about spiritual warfare. That's how I'm coming to the battlefield. I'm coming to the battlefield with forgiveness. I'm coming to the battlefield with love because I know that love conquers all. And I'm going to operate from a place of love and no longer from a place of fear, no longer from a place of hate, no longer from a place of unforgiveness, because it don't make me feel good. I didn't feel good. This man probably wasn't thinking about nothing about what was going on in my face. He probably ain't thinking about nothing of how he might have hurt me or hurt my family. He probably think he ain't even did nothing wrong, when I think he's done everything wrong. But it's not up to me. I'm not the judge and I'm not the jury. But what I am going to do is forgive him again, right here, right now with you. And I want to invite you to forgive somebody right here, right now with me. Let's push that forgiveness out into a space that we ain't getting no pushback. Let's push our forgiveness together. Let's push our energy together to forgive ourselves, because a lot of us just simply need to forgive ourselves. We're willing to forgive other people, but have we forgiven ourselves? Forgive yourself, love bug. You're worthy of forgiveness. You're deserving of forgiveness. I have a strong feeling that you have a strong desire for forgiveness. You think it's God that needs to forgive you. You are God. And you are the one that needs to forgive you. It ain't nobody else. I hope something today has resonated with you. It's definitely resonated with me. I feel heavy and I know I'm finna feel light. I feel like I'm gonna cry, y'all. Just because this is serious. And I feel your pain. I feel your unforgiveness. And I also feel the hurt that it feels to let it go, because it's hard to let go. Have you ever been carrying something very heavy and you had to be very methodical about how you set it down? That's what we're doing today. We're going to be methodical about setting down this pain, setting down what we've been holding on to for too long. You with me? Because I'm with you. I love you and I appreciate you. And I appreciate you showing up every single week with me. I am Mimi the Motivator, your favorite motivator's favorite motivator. And I'm going to be here and I'm going to continue to be here. If you're ready to take this relationship to a next level and not just listen to me on my podcast or watch my videos, reach out to me. Let's take our relationship to the next level so you can really get down to the nitty gritty of what's blocking your abundance, what's really blocking your world, what's blocking what you desire, what's blocking what God has for you. God has something so big for you, you can't even imagine. I bet you don't even have space to receive it. And that's why we have to forgive, so that way we can create the space to receive what the universe has in store for us. I'll see you next week. Make sure you share this with somebody, because you're not the only one who needed to hear this conversation. You're not the only one that needs to forgive. Maybe you can send it to the person that you are forgiving today. Be happy, be healthy, but please, 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 Miss Gwen, be you. I love you.